mental health days are health days, right? So I really want to take consideration because rest for your mental health is just as valid as rest for your physical health, right? So why are you gonna sit there and shame yourself for if you're resting because you have, the flu, for instance, or you have, you sick, you down bad, right? Same thing as if you're emotionally exhausted, right? Someone's maybe over here looking at you crazy because you're over here like talking about you have a headache, right? But that's mental health right there, right? For instance, right? What part of the body is mental health? The brain. The brain is the control center of the body, right? So if your body is, you feeling like you need some rest, you need to be able to kind of get that break, that refresher, so you're able to like operate to the fullest of your potential, your best capacity, right? To recharge, right? Do what's beneficial for your mental health, do what's beneficial for you, right? So I really want us to, like I said, reduce some shame and normalize, right? Because many people feel guilty for needing a break, or when they're struggling, or when things aren't physically visible, right? So things may look good on the exterior, but people, you know yourself more than anybody, right? You know what's going on with you, right? And if you're feeling like if that things are not going good with you, you need, that mental health day, do what's beneficial for who? Yourself, right? So there's pressure to stay productive, even when you're emotionally depleted, right? So keep pushing, keep going on. But what does that lead to? It leads to burnout. It leads to being more anxious, more that anxiety, right? So overwhelmed and emotionally exhausted after the fact, right? And your body is too, right? So ignoring your mental health strain is not going to be able to help you, right? It's just making you, like I said, putting you in a discombobulated spot. And I don't want you to be what? I don't want you to be taught from the floor, right? So stop acting like this is just going to disappear. And I want this to be something that you're able to, like I said, have awareness around. So you do what's going to be beneficial for you. So you're able to get that energy back, right? So let's pull into some psychoeducation. First key point in regards to chronic stress impact your concentration, your sleep, your mood, your memory, in addition to energy levels. The nervous system needs a period of rest and that recovery to function well, right? So we got to be able to, like I said, give ourselves the breaks that we need. Make sure you're drinking that water, You're staying hydrated, right? You're getting the sun, get that vitamin D on your body. You're productively doing some physical movement. You're socializing, right? You're doing things that are going to be beneficial for yourself. You're making yourself happy, positive mindset, right? Gratitude, right? Have a moments of reflection for yourself, that introspection, right? So mental exhaustion can be able to help you reduce the ability to regulate your emotions and even make those decisions, right? So rest is not something that you want to be able to avoid, right? Because you want to be able to, like I said, restore that capacity, right? So that's not laziness. It's something that you got to be able to have that care. So you're able to prevent, other things coming in your life that's going to cause you those disparities, as we mentioned, right? So in regards to practical reframing, or in regards to how we're going to be able to look at things a little bit more differently, how can we view mental health days more differently to be able to benefit us, right? So mental health doesn't have to be something that has to be earned. This is something that you got to be able to look at yourself like, this is something I may need, right? So you have your